Democrats take to the polls in South Carolina Saturday to nominate a challenger to Republican President Donald Trump in the November general election. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, fresh off victories in primaries in New Hampshire and Nevada, is the current frontrunner for the Democrats. But there is doubt and divide among the Democratic electorate, as well as other candidates, that he can beat Trump. In the last Democratic debate in South Carolina, moderates fear the party will lose if Sanders is nominated to go against the incumbent president. Jim Malone reports.
The liberal-moderate split was on full display during the latest Democratic debate in South Carolina, broadcast by CBS News.
Tom, I think she was talking about my plan, not yours.
Frontrunner Bernie Sanders defended the core vision of his campaign, that government take the lead to improve the lives of all Americans.
That is not an economy that's working for the American people. That's an economy working for the 1%. We're going to create an economy for all, not just wealthy campaign contributors.
But Sanders got plenty of pushback in the debate from moderates who fear his nomination would send the party to defeat in November against President Trump. Former South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg was among those sounding the alarm.
I mean, look, if you think the last 4 years has been chaotic, divisive, toxic, exhausting, imagine spending the better part of 2020 with Bernie Sanders versus Donald Trump. Think about what that will be like for this country.
But Sanders and his supporters argue his success shows the Democratic Party has moved to the left since 2016 and is drawing in younger and more engaged voters. Analyst John Fortier.
Well, I think he has some strength. He has a good core of people who are going to be with him no matter where he is, and he's likely to do very well winning or coming in second in states ahead. So he's in a pretty strong position.
But as Sanders rises, moderate Democrats like Jim Kessler grow more concerned.
If you add up the moderate votes together in the early primaries, more people are voting for moderates. For a mainstream candidate to win, that number needs to consolidate in terms of who's vying for those votes.
Moderates like Buttigieg, former Vice President Joe Biden, Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar, and former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg believe Trump and his Republican supporters would be thrilled if Sanders won the Democratic nomination. Analyst Matthew Dalek.
They would be able to kind of exploit Sanders, some of his past positions, Medicare for all. So I think it's a much a bigger target politically for the Republicans to have someone like a Bernie Sanders at the top of the ticket.
We cannot continue to have a president who is a pathological liar.
Sanders will continue to have an advantage in the primary race as long as the moderate contenders fail to rally around one candidate, says Darrell West.
All of them have certain advantages, but certain minuses as well. And I think for one of the moderates to defeat Sanders, the field is really going to have to coalesce around one of those individuals.
The Democratic race is now in a crucial stage, with numerous primaries in larger states coming up over the next several weeks, with a few thousand delegates at stake.